Uh-oh, did it cut out?
Oh, I fucked up, I think. Sorry. Yeah, fuck. I kicked them something and then it all went to hell.
I think we just got it back. I think we're good.
Perfect. I will not click on anything from now on.
Ah, no, click away. We're all figuring this out together.
It seems like we have two of the same guy at the moment. A double Mac. A Big Mac.
I've noticed sometimes when people do these Google Hangouts, they'll get cloned, and I don't know what causes it, only that it happens randomly.
It certainly looks like it. Yeah, probably doesn't matter.
Yeah, I haven't seen it stop anything so far, so I've seen a few of them have that problem.
Mic check. Mic check.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I'm gonna
Awesome.
turn the volume down on this for a second.
Well, maybe we should just tone down the volume until the lovely Baldwin comes on.
I think this is Adam Baldwin talking right now, actually. So yeah, I'll turn it back up and let's listen to that. But it's not actually broadcasting on the stream. It's here in our window, but it's not on the stream. I'm trying to figure out how to get it on the stream.
Hey, is my mic too loud for you guys, or is it good?
I can hear you fine.
All right.
Thunderfoot has a new video up about Anita Sarkeesian's supposed death threats.
That'll be great to watch. I just want to figure out how to get this YouTube video on the stream, on the screen for the people watching, which is right now no one.
Hello?
What?
This is the first time I've used Google Hangout, so I have no idea whether my mic or anything's working.
I can hear you.
You're not the only one.
It's the first time I'm actually going out on a Hangout, too,
Oh,
so
yeah. Same here.
I didn't know it was kind of so crazy to look at inside the Hangouts.
So
Well, it's
beautiful.
so I guess that was Adam Baldwin. I'm pretty sure. I think that was the end of that. So I'm gonna kill this video. Unfortunately, I was never able to figure out how to get it on. I was never able to get it onto the stream. I don't know what a cameraman. What is this? Maybe that's it. There's so many buttons I can press. Show hide
Yeah, I
participants.
didn't manage to
Got
figure it out either, and as far as I can understand, it's kind of like tons of apps you can download, and they give you
Yeah.
different kinds of control.
It's the iPhone generation. All these buttons I can press. Fuck.
Oh, by the way, can everybody hear what everybody's saying now? You don't have to press a button or anything. Just open microphone.
Yeah, it picks up your voice, and the way it works on the link or on the way it works for everyone viewing. Which, by the way, I need to share the link. I'm gonna give the link to you guys in the chat so you can share it with anyone you want.
Oh, holy shit, it's got my Google pic.
there's that. You can share that with anyone, and they'll be able to watch. I'm also going to put that here in the Facebook group. All right.
There's like a 10-second delay.
Yeah, there's quite a delay. It's pretty seamless. As far as the different people talking. Like I've been on Skype chats before with this many people, where some people, you can tell that it takes them like 5 seconds to hear you, and then another 5 seconds to respond. Google Hangouts seems to be just like a pretty natural conversation, but there definitely is a delay overall compared to what's going on.
How do we view the chat which is on the YouTube page? Are we gonna have to mute ourselves?
If you hit on the left-hand side of the Hangouts thing, there's the blue button second from the top, the chat button. That opens up the panel on the live chat on the right-hand side.
So that's on the YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, and I don't understand this.
Oh, great! Amazing.
It's good stuff. All right, well, we have this started where I had prepared stuff, kind of, but I'm absurdly new to this. There's so many things to press and things to figure out. So basically, this is just going to be a casual conversation, just kind of an experiment for all of us. We have an opportunity to say, frankly, whatever the hell we want. The topic is Gamergate. That's the one shared interest that I know we all have.
Wait, what's Gamergate? I've never heard about that.
I don't know, man. I think it has something to do with cats.
Oh, good, I love cats.
No. Didn't you hear the latest thing from Whiskey Grenade? It's all about fruits now.
Oh god, gamer fruit. There we go. That's a good thing to start off about. So I don't know how up to speed all of you are. I know I personally am obsessed with this stuff. I'm so involved in the activism, and at the very least, I'm all over Twitter and all over Kotaku in Action. Facebook is, some of you know, those of you that came from Facebook probably see me posting all goddamn day in there. But so Brianna Wu tweeted what she thought was the developer DICE, but it turned out that it was a Twitter account for some random fruit wholesaler. And the dude tweeted back, like, I don't know what you're talking about. So someone, I think it might have been Gigi Feminist, it might have been the camera lady, I don't know who, posted a screen cap of that tweet and started a hashtag GamerFruit, or Fruitgate or something. I think it was GamerFruit. And it didn't trend in any sort of like national sense. Like you won't see it on the trending stuff on the Twitter page, but it did get a fair number of tweets. It got picked up by a lot of Gamergate people as a sort of side kind of amusing thing. And the fruit wholesaler dude loves it because he has gotten so much free publicity from this woman accidentally tweeting DICE to complain about misogyny in video games. And he is now... oh, go ahead.
No, okay, I got the delay, so, but, I'm actually wondering, she was telling about that, it was because they, had a panel where, it was all men and only 2 of them were non-whites. The thing is that I don't know is if it was this firm she tweeted about, the fruit firm, or if it actually was DICE, because then her point still stands, and it's never been clarified to me. Do any of you know anything about that?
Right, the thing she was trying to point out, and she was not doing her research thoroughly because then she wouldn't have done that mistake, but the core of her message was right, that they had hosted some kind of panel. I'm not sure exactly which one it is, because you can pretty much take any panel and then go, oh, look how bad they are. But whatever panel she was referring to, it was a panel where, well, there wasn't much of diversity, but the thing she was trying to do is kind of the shameless thing they tried to do, and I think it was the Steam launch thing when they did the Steam console stuff, and it was only guys up on stage. They said, we're only wanting to hire the best in the industry, and you have to apply to actually come into our job here. But the feminist idea in that mindset was just to call them out, that you only have men up there. Well, of course we only have men because it's only men that have actually applied.
I remember that video. I don't think it was Steam OS. I feel like it was, or the Steam box. I feel like it was Oculus Rift or something.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it was actually a pretty good video. It doesn't really, to me, it didn't have quite the punch that it should have. But the woman came up and started ranting about how there's not enough women in his field, and he hasn't hired enough women. And he basically said, "Look, we don't care. We're having trouble hiring enough qualified people of any gender, of any race. We're not in a position to exclude people because they have a vagina."
No, but the thing is that as soon as they said that, like they looked like fucking rabbits in the headlights, didn't they? Like they didn't know what to do. They're like, "Oh shit, this could be like a media scandal."
Unfortunately, it was kind of the video cut out after that. I've never seen the full video. I've only seen the excerpt that the guy on stage says that, and then the woman who was asking the question just kind of has deer in the headlights herself, and then it just ends. So I don't know how the crowd reacted, how the rest of that went. I never have seen any press about that, though. I feel like it didn't become a significant thing because it was, I don't know, it was pretty much an effective shutdown, and it was before the mass media coverage, and it doesn't jive with the narrative of men keeping women out of the industry and oppressing and harassing women the way that the national media seems to be trying to push, I guess.
But this is the thing, if you've got a preset narrative, you're going to ignore anything that sets outside of the thing you expect to find. This is why it's a bad thing to go into any sort of discussion having a predetermined conclusion.
Absolutely.
You're just going to ignore all of these. You'll see it all the time on these Twitter feeds where you'll get constant examples of something else, like harassment on one side, and then one instance of something mildly offensive to the other side, then it gets retweeted by that person who's been ignoring all the harassment on their side. It's like, oh, typical example, and like complete blinders on, completely ignoring something that doesn't fit their narrative, because that's what they do. They've tied their identity to this narrative. You see what I mean? They predetermine themselves and their identity. This is what's important to them, confirmation of self rather than the actual truth.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Victor.
My turn. But it's like that from both sides in some way. The thing is, they are pushing their agenda, we are pushing ours, and that is what different groups of oppositions do to each other. The thing is just that there isn't the big amount of facts behind their agenda. We have a much more easily how to say this, the agenda we're pushing. There is corruption in gaming journalism. We actually have some reason to believe this. They are saying, oh, gamers are misogynists. They are generalizing and picking out single individuals who actually might be misogynists, but that doesn't speak for the entire group, and that's kind of the problem. They are generalizing way too much, where we have a much it's much easier for us to grab the subject we are trying to work for. Corruption, it's easy. Corruption is bad.
Well,
And
misogyny's
that's kind
bad
of the thing.
too,
Oh, go ahead, Angela.
But misogyny's bad too, and that's why they get traction. They can just say, "Oh, they're a misogynist. They're bad," and everybody goes, "Oh, okay, that's right."
Yeah, that's kind of that's kind of the thing, isn't it? A lot of people in a lot of ideologies, when they get dogmatic about it, and it's not limited to SJW stuff. It's not limited to video games, either Gamergate for or against it. It's really kind of just human nature. When you're passionate about something, there's something that is deeply held. It often, you search for things that confirm your preconceptions instead of looking at the reality of the situation and altering your idea of what's right based on
classic
that.
bad faith, isn't it? Where you talk about Star Trek, the idea of someone convincing themselves they're something, and then they'll do everything they can to prove to themselves they are this thing. So they create caricatures of what a feminist should be, and then they keep imitating this thing of what they think they should be. They want to become this ideal of like what a feminist should act like and what the world should be like around them, and then they end up just becoming caricatures in the process of imitating these ideals, which are caricatures. That's why it gets so humorous at times, because these people are so just extreme and just so cartoonish in the way they behave.
Yeah.
What frightens me the most is how they also come, and I'm talking more about the academia people, how they come so well armed with arguments and insults and these buzzwords that are meant to instantly shut down any critique. Oh, you're a misogynist. Oh, you're a woman. Well, then it's internalized misogyny.
Can I just add something to it?
Of course.
From what I've seen in mainstream media, it's more about trying to get a strong reaction. And when sites like CNN or MSNBC, they get that reaction from the people, and it will generate more controversy, which will get in people that are uninformed of what a topic is, and it'll be drawn to them, thus gaining more ratings, gaining more attention.
Exactly. But this is the trend with media at the moment. It's turned into, well, we need to get views. So it's sort of degenerated in this thing where, how can we get as many views as we can? Oh, I know, controversy. Let's look at Assassin's Creed. Let's just talk about how there isn't the option for female characters. It's like dribble. It's not something that's important. They just spin controversy after controversy, and then they add to narratives that they've created themselves, like the whole EA thing. Oh, EA is awful. Let's spin that narrative. Let's push that, because it gets clicks. If you say something extreme, you get a lot of views, and this is why we've seen all of these ridiculous people coming in, because they are willing to say something that sounds ridiculous because they don't care. They just want the clicks. And it's the same with mainstream media. Gamergate's brilliant because it allows them to do the same thing. Oh, sexism, misogyny, gamers. All of these people flooding in because they fall for it every time.
I have two things about this. First off, I'm from Denmark. It's around 4 a.m. over here. Anyway, our media are not at all like this. Our news stations, they have this monotone voice where they don't load they're objective. Yeah, they're pretty damn objective. Actually, I think one of the news lady actually got the kick because she was not. You could actually hear her voice when she thought something was good and something was bad. So she was kicked off the force. And hearing about Fox News, and I don't know, all these stations in the US, I don't know how many of you are from America, but it seems so surreal. And then I had one other thing which I can't remember. Just before we get too far ahead, I think we should get on with this subject. I would ask people to introduce themselves. I guess some of you people maybe want to stay anonymous. I don't know. But just saying how long you have been a Gamergate follower and what you have been doing and so forth, so forth. So I'm done now. You can talk.
Yeah, that's great, Victor. When you mentioned you're from Denmark, I was about to suggest that. I think it'd be great to take the time to kind of introduce ourselves and the one viewer we have, introduce ourselves to the viewer. The other one is me, because apparently, so there's the group chat, right, that we can all see here in the Hangout.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
not the chat that the viewers can see.
Oh, no,
I don't
what
know
do they
how to
mean?
access the chat that the viewers can see from within this window. But if you go to the watch link, which I posted in the group chat, then you can chat with any viewers. That'll be something to figure out for the next stream. But I'll go ahead and start. I don't care about anonymity or anything. I just didn't want to use my personal YouTube account for this. My name's Chris. I live in Florida. I'm 25, and I've been a gamer ever since I was tall enough to reach the keyboard. I remember using a 386 PC, playing Commander Keen all day on a Windows 3.1 machine, man.
How old are
My
you?
dad jokes that that's how I learned to read, was by trying to figure out how to start the game in DOS prompts. So, and Gamergate I've been following. I was actually a fan of Zoe Quinn before any of the Zoe post and all that stuff broke out. I caught something about that microchip she implanted in her hand with the near field communication, so she could wave her hand over her phone and do stuff with that. I didn't know that she was actually a game developer. I thought she was just a nerdy chick that had a kind of alternative look to her. I thought she was kind of cute. I didn't know that she was kind of
Crazy?
yeah. I was searching for a specific word. I mean, I read through the entirety of the Zoe post, and it was kind of disappointing because, to be honest, I had a little bit of a crush on her, and it turns out that she's kind of like maybe a sociopath. I don't know what is going on, but there's definitely some manipulation but so I was interested in that. I'm also a huge fan of Reddit, and when I saw, in conjunction with the Zoe post, the then censorship, that thread with like 30,000 deleted comments of people trying to talk about the Zoe post and the whole Zoe Quinn thing.
30,000?
Yeah, 30,000 deleted comments and
Jesus Christ,
hundreds
that's
upon hundreds of
insane.
people banned just for trying to talk about it. And so that to me that really struck a chord with me, because at my core I'm an anti-censorship person. I'm kind of an information anarchy person. I feel that if someone's trying to keep something from you, if someone is trying to censor something from you or someone else and you know about it, you should spread it far and wide just because of that. There's a reason that someone doesn't want people to know about it, and information wants to be free. So yeah, I've been following it since the very beginning. How about you guys? Victor, you talked a little bit, but if you want to...
No, I think we should do this like you are a perfect right. So let's see. Now I'm kind of saying anyway. You're the one that started the thing. So you got the picture in your bottom right corner, right?
Yep.
So let's have the one left to you on your screen tell about themselves. And
Yeah, that'll be you, Victor.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, I'm Danish, and here the other day I joined the little Facebook group, and I found it quite interesting. I have been coming on 4chan for about 4 years now. I'm a new fag, whatever. And the thing is, a couple of months before all this went down, I was visiting video games a lot, V as they call it, and these threads began to pop up about Zoe Quinn. And at some point, I actually read one of them, and it was just crazy. What happened? It felt really insane to me that we had the corruption so close to us. And I must say, I haven't really visited Kotaku before.
Hey, Victor, your mic is cutting out for me. I don't know if it's just me. Is the mic cutting out for anyone else?
No, it's cutting out for all of us.
Yeah,
okay.
a little bit.
What?
Mic's cutting out a little bit. At least that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's going like in and out and it's getting real quiet sometimes and coming back.
Oh my god.
Maybe your cord's wonky, like there's a kink in it or something.
I just bought this fucking headset. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's...
You're good now.
Yeah, because I'm trying
Stays.
to pull the microphone closer to my face. Maybe it's because the voice, it can't recognize my voice because it's too far away. I don't know.
It sounds like there's a glitch in there because you get, sometimes you're really slamming through and sometimes it goes like super quiet.
Like cancellation on or something, and it's like fucking up because you can't detect when your voice is actually speaking.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. What? Yeah. For some reason, it's very small, right? Yeah. Those blinking green bulbs in the corner is sometimes it's very small, sometimes it's very big. I don't know. Okay, then I'll make it short from now on. I joined this Facebook group, and after that, I've been really looking into this. Around this week, I've really been following the streams, and before that, I was watching the Aristocrat and some other guys. I don't know. It feels like there's something really, really wrong about something I've been doing for a long time. And I want to be a part of it and in trying to change it.
Right on.
Well, should I go then? Mine should probably be quite quick. I think people have listened in to what I had to say a few times before.
Sounds good.
Well, the name's Jim, and I'm one of those that can really not care less if people try to dogstrop me.
Jim, you cut out.
Everything to steal my identity. I do live in UK now, so it's even more difficult to find me because I live in the city with 10 million people. So good luck on trying to do anything like that. For me, Gamergate has, well, I kind of joined from day one, what people consider to be the day one, but I've been part of something, I've been trying to change something that's been like a splinter in the mind of me, like, say, The Matrix. And I was kind of hardcore gaming all the way back in 2004 when World of Warcraft came out.
Oh yeah, baby.
And I was among the more top guilds of Europe and the European servers. And yes, we were sitting there with the frustrating servers and the 5.5 hours raids into Molten Core and whatnot. But we did have a lovely group of both women and men, boys and girls, however you want to say it was. And even back then, it was sort of a taboo to say that you were a hardcore gamer, that you really didn't want to reveal it too much because you got attacked. And it was mainly from school or like supposedly educated people back then. Now it's more everyone that comes out or like, thinks there is injustice in the world, and gamers seems to be such an obvious target. Since the Gamergate stuff started, I've really got into getting more videos and more content out there. And I'm not really one of taking credit for it, but I did point out in a video on a separate channel I have that this is how money is made from you, from making you angry, from bullying you, from pushing you around. And on that channel I had about 50 views on any video I uploaded, but this video I think is about 1,500 views already. And after I posted that, everybody started using the archive and snapshot servers, so people are now not going to the website, they're going to the archive links instead, because it's not even giving an impression on the servers. So these people have less and less proven record to give to the advertisers that do put ads in the servers. I think that is probably the most important message I'm bringing to Gamergate is it comes down to money. It's all about money. And as we already said here, many people have said, they make you angry to get the clicks. But as we see now with Gamergate, it's not a sustainable financial strategy. But that's about
Absolutely.
me.
You can't tell your core audience that they're terrible people and expect to keep them as a core audience. I figure that should be common sense, but maybe it's not. How about you, Miles? Tell us about yourself.
All right, where to begin? Yeah, my name's Miles. I'm from Texas, and I've been gaming since I was supposed to introduce
Where in Texas?
southeast from southeast Texas.
Okay. I have a good friend going to college in San Antonio. I don't actually know where that is, but I've been there a few times. It's a pretty cool place.
Yeah, it's a great city.
Anyway,
Yeah. So yeah, my old man bought Super Nintendo. I got too addicted to Mario, and from there, it was all Mario games. There, I was mostly a Nintendo kid growing up, playing great games like Legend of Zelda. I got introduced to the PlayStation and also PC gaming around 2003. I'm also 24 years old, and I did a bit of volunteer work with the Red Cross, and also did a bit of activism. I, for me, when I first discovered Gamergate, I was one of the skeptics that was trying to find out if there's any side to it. I mean, I've learned the hard way about jumping to conclusions when I lost a few people several years ago. So I learned the hard way about jumping to conclusions without having to thinking, what two sides offer, explore one side and explore the other, and that's why I learned. It's easy to learn the hard way in some perspectives, and it was just trial and error. It was part of life. I mean, the way I see it, I was never a perfect person, but growing up, and so when I first learned about Gamergate, I actually learned about it through several YouTube videos, as well as meeting sites like Polygon, Kotaku, GameSpot, and I was just really disgusted when they were offering, when they were writing, well, as the same things we've been hearing today, except when it was initially when we gave it back to Zoe Quinn. I backed off on it because I wasn't sure what exactly there's a side that gamers would go for, but until a few days ago, I finally knew which I wanted, I chose to be in. So I I joined the Gaming Gear group on Facebook, and I made a stance and just went with it.
right on. Well, we're glad to have you. It's like I said at the start of this. The one thing we have in common for sure is we're all gamers. We all like games and different ideologies, different viewpoints. But as I see it, Gamergate is a very inclusive group. We're not here to tell people that they can't speak. We're here to encourage the ability of everyone to speak and diminish the power of those people who want to censor others for art that they don't approve of or creative expression they don't approve of. Angela, why don't you tell us about yourself? I see your Legacy of Kain profile picture there.
Yes. That's my jam. Just so everyone knows. I have been gaming since my brother let me. He would, the first game I actually remember playing was it was Ocarina of Time, but like I always wanted to play. My brother was like, "Nope, these are mine. I bought them. Get out of here."
Love that game.
I
Keep your
know.
women out of gaming, Jesus Christ.
And that's how long I've been gaming. I've been involved in Gamergate actually, not actually, kind of, just like kind of watching it for a while until I got really, really annoyed with some of the stuff that was going on. I was like, it was kind of a long time, like a month into it, and I was like, what is this? I gotta know. And pretty much I found Not Your Shield, and I was like, well, this is what I've been trying to say since Anita Sarkeesian did her first little tropes videos this whole time. So these people are pretty much my people here. And so there's that.
Right on. Right on. Well, like I said, we're glad to have you. Borges, what about you? I'm guessing I've kind of lost track of who exactly I've invited, but I figure you're Smeg, right? On the Steam group. All right, well, how'd you get into this, and what do you like to do as far as gaming and all that?
Well, like I got into this, I've sort of been in the precursor sort of attitude, so I wasn't necessarily into the Gamergate thing, but I was into the ideas that were floating around before it, you know. Everyone's been pissed off at Polygon and Kotaku for like a long time, so, you know, that's where I come from with it. Just generally getting drawn in there, particularly regarding Matt Lee's. I listen to a lot of podcasts, you know, about gaming, and Matt Lee's, like, seriously, if you listen to his podcasts, oh my god, it drives me up the wall. It just grinds my gears so much. He's so fucking condescending. So that sort of drove me towards the Twitter more than I usually am. Regards gaming, the first game I played really was on Windows 95, a Stronghold, which is really weird because I was like 4, so I was pissing about with like really, really difficult RTS games and just generally getting my arse handed to me. So I've been into it a long time. So yeah, that's basically it.
Right on. You know, I'd forgotten all about Windows 95 and XP and the games that used to come with those. Maybe it was all just 95 had that the Media Center Edition or whatever, the 98 Media Center Edition had some games that came with it. And there's a first-person shooter that's like a simplistic kind of very cartoony thing that ran on probably the Doom engine. I don't know I don't remember that game, but I played the hell out of it. I'd like to find out something about it. Look it up again and see if I can find it on an abandonware site. Well, okay, so you know we have obviously people from different countries, different interests in gaming. I'm a big first-person shooter guy myself. I play a little bit of everything, and I have 350 games on Steam, and I've only ever played like 30% of them. But we have all kinds of stuff. But like I said, we're all involved in Gamergate in the activism. We're talking amongst each other, presumably talking amongst people who we think might be interested, but who haven't taken a side, family, friends, etc. What I'm wondering is, have any of you guys had an experience like the guy in the Facebook group? God, probably know it might have been one of you even. I don't think it was. I think it was Eric, who have gotten into arguments and possibly even lost friends because of support of Gamergate. Has that happened to any of you?
Was it Shoopy?
I'm sorry?
Was it Shoopy?
Shoopy? I don't think it was Shoopy, but Shoopy was in the thread. I think the OP was Eric something.
That had a mother or something that was very feministic and didn't like the fact that he supported Gamergate. That was some guy. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Oh, okay. That's
Evan,
what
I
you're
think he
talking
was.
about.
I'm sorry?
I think his name was Evan. I think.
Sounds about right. But
Not important.
no, yeah, well, yeah, it's. I mean, it is important. That's a terrible thing that someone would get angry at their son and say that, because of the narrative pushed by the media that these people who support Gamergate, us, that all of us hate women and to act like your son hates you because he supports a movement that has nothing to do with feminist ideals.
How
It's
old was
crazy.
this guy? His mother was like, his mother was able to counter him so much. Like, what? Like, was it like, in order to take that sort of criticism on a personal level, you have to be at least like under 16. I don't know.
No. That's it's just about a guy who likes his mother. Of course, most of us do, and he wants to have a good relationship with his mother. It doesn't matter if he lives at home or if he lives at his own place. It's totally that doesn't matter. The thing he was talking about was that he wanted to talk to her about this, and she wouldn't listen. And that is kind of what is happening right now in the media. We are actually trying to come forth with our opinion about this whole thing, but there are other people who are trying to say this is not what they stand for. They stand for misogyny, which is wrong. And it's kind of the same. He is fighting with someone where she doesn't know what the hell Gamergate stands for.
And she doesn't want to. She doesn't even want to find out. She
Because
she
she
heard the
has her own
narrative.
agenda.
Yep. You
Well,
know,
this is a great tactic, isn't it? Because how many people who listen to the media reporting of what Gamergate is are interested enough in games to actually go and find out what it's really about?
Well,
How
the thing
how
is,
many people listen
they
to?
don't care about games. They don't care about feminism. They only care about their views. Well, and I'm talking about the mainstream media right now. I would say the Kotaku articles and wherever the hell these corrupt journalists, whatever they're putting out there, it's only to make a smokescreen so people won't follow up on the original problems that is that they are corrupt. That's why they do it.
In other words,
Absolutely.
the attention away from onto something else. Correct?
Yeah. Does anyone else feel? I kind of feel up until very recently I've neglected saying anything anything about Gamergate for or against on my personal social media profiles. That's why I created a perfect purple nurple. And it's a it's more time. I feel like it's almost like there's a stigma against gamers, and now there's a stigma against gamer gators to the extreme. It's almost like to tell your friends and family that you support the Gamergate movement is almost like coming out as gay in a Southern Baptist town or something. Does anyone else feel anything like that?
You're definitely not wrong on that. It is something that has been going on, and I think it is just society is constructed in general that is don't dare to step out too much, and gaming is the new kid on the block despite this being around for quite some time. And there's an interesting video I think you should Google, and this hard rocker called Dee Snider, and he was the frontman of a band called Twisted Sister.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with Twisted Sister.
Yeah, we're not gonna take it as one of the biggest rock tunes there are, well, aside from Queen songs and everything, but he had to sit in front of the Senate and defend himself, or he did it voluntarily. He defended himself and he defended rock and roll music in the Senate hearing in front of Tipper Gore, Al Gore's wife. And she had really been hounding him, I think it was in the 80s, early 90s, I'm not really sure exactly when. But
yeah, it's
that is an extremely eloquent person that was perfect to put forward to explain that, look, this is just music. And
I'm very familiar with this because Frank Zappa, who's I like Dee Snider, and I wasn't alive back then, but after getting interested in music and the activism relating to free speech and whatnot, I've looked around about all that stuff, that era of music, the whole censorship thing with Tipper Gore, and you know, it was the metal music and rock, and it was also rap to a big extent. But Frank Zappa gave an incredibly eloquent series of speeches in front of Congress at the committee to determine whether they should be censoring music. I didn't know Dee Snider did, actually, though.
Dee Snider did like Grand Slam, like Jenny and Gemma and Georgie, was it, did on that HuffPost Live. He did an equal Grand Slam.
All right, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and play that video. I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to get it onto the stream for a viewer this time. What's up? All right, let's see what we have here. It's on a playlist, and I'm gonna click on it. Come on, what's happening here? Okay, let's kill this.
So, just a quickie. Oh, he actually found it. Never mind, then yeah, go ahead and play.
Yeah, it. How the fuck? Buffering.
Where am I supposed to see this?
Oh, that's right. You're on mobile. I have no idea, honestly. I'm trying to get it onto the stream for the viewers, although we lost our viewer. It's just me in the chat now.
I'm there.
But I don't know. I'm actually, you know, we've been at this for about an hour now. You guys want to go take a break? I want to go smoke a cigarette. Take 5 minutes or so, and yeah, I see you, Victor. I can't smoke in the house. So I'm gonna just let this video buffer, and whatever happens happens. How about we come back in 5 minutes or so and continue the conversation? Sound good?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'm actually watching the video right now. I don't know, but sure, I'm gonna watch it. So.
All right. I'll be back shortly.
Bagum. Hang on, we need like interlude music. Is this still live?
Oh yeah, interlude music. Oh, I can see something.
There we go.
All you need is love. I can't really hear that. I don't know. Thank you. That was so incredible. Thanks a lot. Yeah, so let me just hear who are still here. I can see on the webcam that Mac is not here at the moment.
Yeah, I'm still sitting around. I'm doing a lot of VFX work at the moment. I'm rotoscoping, and it's like this has been perfect to just chat away and listen to people talk.
You appreciate my music taste. Fuck.
No, the problem was that it sounded like crap through the microphone or something. I don't know. It just it was a very bad quality.
It's a good time to crack open a beer. Cheers.
Yeah, I'm on my second bottle of wine at the moment, so yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Gotta be a drunk or something, I don't know.
Well, to be honest, I haven't drank in 5, 6 months. This beer's been hanging in my fridge for more than that.
What the hell is wrong with you? I drank like 2 bottles of wine the 2 days ago or something too. Maybe it's just me that's something wrong with. Oh my god, it all makes sense now.
I try to find a good time to drink alcohol, regardless if it's beer or if it's hard liquor. I'm no alcoholic. I've got my appreciation for it for stuff coming from my stepdad.
If you lived in England, you could have like the wonders of Frosty Jacks, which is basically 2 litres of cider for £1.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. I'm on the Tesco version. That's just say you can get like 10 liters of cider for about a tenner.
Land of dreams.
It's such a relief. Because I live in Sweden, and if you go out to drink, it's about 10 quid for a pint in any pub.
Oh no, we've got to tax alcohol because we want to control how our citizens behave. Oh no.
Are you saying 10 Swedish crowns for a pint?
No, 100 Swedish kronas for 1 pint. I kid you not. I've been in places where they even charge as much as 160 kronas for a pint of cider.
Okay. Okay, sure.
You do know that Swedish people hire vans, drive across from whatever the bridge is, through Denmark, down just across the border into Germany, and buy from the big brewery they have there and just haul it back home. And that is cheaper than getting beer in Sweden.
I'm back, guys. For those of us who don't have any idea of a good frame of reference for that, that's apparently about $17 US for a single pint of beer.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's about 10
nice.
10 quid here in UK.
I would say that again, Denmark. I have this. I go to university, and we have a bar there, and it's around 20 Danish crowns for. Okay, now I'm not actually sure what a pint is anymore, but it's like half a liter of beer, and that is a good price. I would say the bad price is the ones around 50 Danish crowns, which is around the same in Swedish crowns. It's a little.
Yeah, if you buy it on the government-controlled stuff, you can get the what's known as ful öl, ugly beer. You can get that for about 15 to 20 Swedish kronas, but it's not good quality. It's like mass-produced, cheap. Student discount when I was a student up in northern part of Sweden, it was about 33 kronas for 1 pint of beer.
For comparison, I can get a 24-pack of domestic U.S. beer for 12-ounce bottles for about $15. 15 US dollars.
American beer shit though.
That is around 100 Danish crowns and 100 Swedish around. That is pretty normal for us, I would say. Anyway, everybody here, because I actually got something I wanted to talk about. I know that
go ahead, Victor.
And it is that right before we began talking here, I was playing a little bit of WoW with a friend, and I was telling him about Gamergate, and he has also been visiting 4chan for quite a while, and he knew about it, but he didn't know a lot. The thing is that he didn't care at all. He mainly plays Blizzard games, and he told me, well, this is not gonna have any influence upon these games at all. So I don't want to bother to care about this. And I told him, well, if we lose, this is gonna have an influence upon your Blizzard games. And he couldn't really wrap his head around that. And that's the thing. I think a lot of gamers out there that maybe have heard about Gamergate, maybe have not, actually think that this is just another fad or something that it's gonna blow over and then nothing's gonna change. I don't feel like that's it. I think that gaming is gonna change if we lose, and that is kinda important to point out because this is a big thing.
Well, yeah, I've seen similar with I've got like a particular Mumble server I go on, and like I've got my friends there. Like literally, I'm the only one who's like invested in the drama. A lot of them just because there's been a new update recently. Like literally, the people I've talked to literally know nothing about it because they don't even read games media outlets. So perhaps that's the problem: the fact that we sort of see these people as figures of authority when they don't actually reach the majority of people who play these games.
Well, it's sort of something they've created on their own because people don't go to these websites anymore and read about gaming like they used to because it is so much about political agendas and, oh, we're not going to give Bayonetta an 8 or something because there's a little bit too much cleavage in this game. It's like, what does that have to do with how good the game is? Did you get entertained or not?
Well, it is to us who are we're actually we know about Gamergate, but the people that don't, they would go to some of these websites and then think, oh yeah, that's actually well, there is a little bit of sexism. It doesn't matter because I'm probably gonna play this game anyway. But yeah, I don't know.
But when you haven't been exposed to, you have no reason to doubt the concepts. You already trust the website because you've liked their old reviews and whatnot, and you've been going to the site. You're already there reading. If it doesn't challenge, and if it's not really offensive to your idea of what's correct already, there's no reason to doubt it.
Well, also you've got in the media, you've got all of these self-affirming voices because it's become sort of a friends club. People will promote people who support their views. You won't see like someone with, just for example, you won't see someone with conservative tendencies being promoted by the left-wing media journalists who are in gaming. Like you won't see Jim Sterling promoting someone who's like, oh yeah, men have to be men. That's a problem, and also a problem is how the industry sort of unduly gives these people a sense of power by pandering to them. You see what I mean? They sort of see it as a threat. When if you call their bluff, I imagine that the House of Cards would come crumbling down.
I love Gamergate so much.
The damage they do is very much real. I mean, I've been talking to quite a few people about this for quite a long time, and I see a lot of people being afraid for something they do not need to be afraid of. I mean, just today I saw someone tweet out a message, an anti-Gamergator tweeting out and saying there are Gamergators that have physically assaulted people.
Yeah, it was. I saw that tweet too. And what? Do you have any proof? No. No. I'm just saying it, putting it out there, and then people can make their own little decision because this is not loaded at all. And
yes.
This is the danger. It's causing real harm, even though they don't realize it. Because now you have people so afraid. And even this fake hashtag, StopGamergate2014, there were people tweeting, because I'm afraid to tweet this. Are you afraid to use your freedom of speech?
It's just...
I'd like to back up a minute. That's all very good points. But Victor touched on the issue of certain communities not really caring about Gamergate, and then Smeg continued on talking about his Mumble server. I've seen the same thing in the esports community. the esport, the competitive like League of Legends stuff, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dota, and all those games that are played at a real competitive level that there's the national and international tournaments for, they don't give two shits about Gamergate because they're completely unaffected. Anyone who's going to lolsports.com or any of those sites to watch stuff relating to these games is already incredibly devoted to the game and is not going to be swayed by some outsider or an insider, anyone saying that the game sucks because there's tits in it.
That is a danger of what they're doing, because this is something that's been going on for quite some time. And if you listen to people like Sargon of Akkad that have studied history properly, this is something that is a slow war, so to speak, and they call it cultural Marxism. And it's because they failed Marxism, and now they realize that they need to get in on this media thing, and it's something for them in the long term. Even though they're not affected today, when we would fall, if we would, they are the next target, and they have patience, they have power, they have money to wait for it to come around to their side. They will push like they're doing to us at this moment, but they have the patience to be in it for the long run.
Yeah, but we also do, because we are a lot of common people that actually don't get paid for this. They are actually losing money by going for this in the long run. And I'm talking about all these journalist websites that if we keep pressing them, they will lose money because they need to hire people to push their agenda forward, and if we keep telling the ad companies to pull back their ads from these websites, they will lose money. We won't lose money because we didn't have anything to begin with. We do this in spare time. We do it for free. And
I think we lost Miles.
Yeah, but we got someone else.
Yeah, we got Dapper Swindler. He's the other guy who I was talking with Jim on the previous stream.
And
Mag's back.
Thank you, Mac.
Who?
He's back.
But yeah, the thing is, we work for free. We can keep this going as long as people want it to keep going. If we lose morale, we will crumble and we will disperse, and it will all be over.
It's important to stay positive, even though we're being heavily, triggered and oppressed by the mainstream media. We have to persevere. We have to keep in mind the message, and that brings up something that has become a big topic in the Gamergate community recently, which is the sort of poisoning of the well, perceived poisoning of the well with the Gamergate hashtag. There's some people out there who want to split the tag or abandon the name Gamergate altogether. I'm just wondering what you guys think about that. I'd like to hear from you, Angela, because I haven't heard from you much.
As for abandoning the tag, I don't think it'll actually do a whole lot of good, because it's not the tag that's been poisoned, it's the people who are talking about us that's poisoned, pretty much. It's not us, it's them. So whether or not we go by one tag or another is going to be kind of irrelevant, because they're going to be calling us what they're going to be calling us.
I would add to that, that's true. And, well, you touched on it, that last sentence. They're going to be calling us the same thing either way. If we were to change the tag, I've seen a lot of people arguing this as a highly upvoted thread on Kotaku in Action talking about this. There's someone actually just posted something about it in the Facebook group as well.
I think it actually was me. It was yesterday I did it, but yeah, I actually posted that, so I'll give my 5 cents in about when you're done talking.
Alright, sounds good. And I actually think I responded to your post about that, saying basically this, which is if we were to change the tag, if we were to abandon the name Gamergate but keep the movement, which of course we're going to keep the movement, we basically it's shallow. It reeks of like a politician changing his last name to avoid bad press. it's not the way to combat the narrative. What are your thoughts, Victor?
It is not, as I said in the thread that was posted, which I think I posted, it is that if we are gonna sit in a pile of shit, which we probably are gonna do at some point, since the opposition is getting most of the narrative in the public media, then it's better to move out of that shit and cross your fingers that we don't walk into another pile of shit. If this Gamergate becomes so toxic because our opposition wins and the entire public thinks that we are misogynists, then it's better to move forward and say we don't condone what Gamergate says. We just want to push this agenda. Now I'm using this bad word agenda, which is a negative word. We want to push forward for this corruption about the journalists. And then ignore whatever the hell they are saying about Gamergate and about misogynists, and they will probably come after us and tell us that we're misogynists again, but then we're just back at square one.
Yeah, I agree. And I lost track. Angela seems to have doubled. I don't know if what happened there, because I see
my internet dropped, and then when I restarted the internet, it looks like it still thinks I'm here. So.
All right. I wonder if I can kill the old one. I'm going to eject the old one. Let's see what happens.
Which one's the?
We lost Mac at some point.
Yeah, I think his phone is spotty, but Jim wanted to speak on the topic. He mentioned something in the chat, and I think that that we should probably coordinate in the chat who's speaking, so we're not all trying to talk over each other. I think that's a good idea.
It's usually a good idea when the chats are bigger to just type like me next, or just do one word that contains to the topic you want to talk about. If someone is being quite long-winded about what to talk about. But what is important to remember about Gamergate is we have already created a critical mass here, and we have done it so successfully because the social justice warriors, and I'm using that term loosely, they used to battle institutions, things that have been there for quite some time. Now, here comes gamers along, and we're the first group to actually combat this movement that have been hitting journalism for quite some time. It's been hitting the political institutions for quite some time, although not as successfully as other areas. It's been hitting cultural institutions such as authors and writers, and even targeting script writers for films, although it's been slowing down there as well.
Sorry to interrupt. You were saying all that. I found this article on it. Apparently superheroes are all fascists now. It's an old article. It's from last year, but...
Yeah, we can have a look at that once I'm done there.
Well, go ahead.
Gamergate is we have this mass entity that is moving with a general purpose. Not everyone is in this for the same thing, and I think we've done quite well in keeping out the troll elements, the people that are just tossing more gasoline onto the flames. And this is the critical thing. I told that to Sargon on his live stream, that it's nice to have someone like you here that are good on strategic thinking, but I don't want to put you up at front because this movement will not need a leader. Because the moment we take on the leader, that's the moment that the social justice warrior, again loosely coined because it involves a lot of people, they will pounce and they will rip whoever it is to pieces. Just look how easy it was to nudge someone, say like Milo. Look how easy it was to nudge this guy that was freaking out earlier on this evening. it is not taking a lot to get someone rattled, and they are experts in doing this. You've already seen how much they dox drops, how much they threaten, what kind of stuff they do on social media.
Oh yeah, like with the poll king of poll thing, when like there was the vague suggestion that they might try and contact his employer when he brought up the whole, oh no, he's misusing his professional authority, etc. It's like that sort of thing you're talking about.
Yes, and they have very much these social studies and everything. And I only have a light social psychology study that came with my media education, and thinking about how do you best get your message across to a group of people rather than just one person. And they know these things. This is what they study at these things that people like Sargon refers very loosely to academia. It's part of their 3 or 4 year course that they go at university to learn how people think as a group. Because something we human have as our greatest weakness is that there may be a lot of intelligent people in a room, but the combined intelligence is that of the lowest person in that room, the dumbest person in that room. Everyone is as dumb as that one. You can just Google panic experiments and see how easily people scare and get into panic. Aaron Brown has done a lot of these social experiments and shown them on TV, on getting people to join in this mob mentality. That's how easy we are to target as groups, but they don't have a single target in Gamergate. And just to round it off, to not get too long-winded here, is Gamergate should not abandon its hashtag. It is not toxic. It has never been toxic. It is trying to, well, the SJWs, if you so like, are trying to pin everything on it. But we have just proven and beaten them back time and time again because we have the facts on our side. Yeah, they are trolls, but we are hunting them down. We are, as soon as someone is coming up with a bad Twitter account or doing something stupid, people are reporting it en masse as Gamergate. But they're not doing that on the anti-Gamergate side, so we have that on our side. That's just what I want to say, so...
Right on. You know, Jim, it was really great when you went on Sargon's stream. I didn't know that you were going on. I had opened the stream a couple minutes before, and then they announced that you were on, and I saw your logo, and I was like, all right, that's cool. And I liked what you said. There was something that I wanted to see addressed, and I talked about it briefly in the chat, but I wasn't able to get on the stream myself. I never got a response on Twitter from the guy who was managing that part of it, which is very related. There's a danger in this sort of the us versus them mentality that can develop in these sort of situations. It's entirely natural. It's the way the human mind works. But when that's ideas, when it's our ideas versus their ideas, that's great. You can have a productive discussion about the ideas, but it so quickly can devolve into the person instead of the idea when really ideas are separate from people. And when I see stuff like people saying personally attacking the people behind anti-Gamergate on our side, or the people personally attacking the pro-Gamergate people on the anti-side, it's just it's not productive. It screws up everything as far as any sort of productive. Repeating myself, as far as any sort of productive discussion. And you touched on something. You mentioned that we're trying to get across ideas to a group of people, not a single person. The way that I've treated conversations, when I know that I'm going into something and the person that I'm speaking to, that I'm debating with, is completely opposed, I figure I'm probably not going to convince them of my viewpoint. But what's important is not them, it's everyone else watching. It's everyone on the sidelines who may be undecided. If you can show that you have the stronger argument, or at the least, if you have if you come across as a better person, a more personable kind of character that they can identify with, then you win. So Victor would like to say something. Go ahead, Victor.
Yeah, it's not much. It's just that we are in kind of a war right now between us and some other people. And the thing is, we are not gonna budge an inch at all. We're gonna stand by what we do, and they are going to do the same. They won't budge at all. This is no one can win. Both of the sides of this war will keep going forever if it is what it takes, and that is bad because we will never get to a conclusion. The only thing that can actually budge is that these journalists might actually change their way to on how they tell the message to the people. Um, and right now, I don't see that happening. A lot of things are moving at the moment, and it could change if we get some more media time and get our um, why we have this Gamergate out there in the ether. We might be able to make these journalists make
Oh, Miles, you have two webcams going on from different perspectives. I don't know how that's happening. And they're both moving.
if you think legislation is going to change your opinion that gamers are misogynists, that is not going to happen. And that is not what we should work towards, because that is a dead cause. It will never happen, and that's why we should not focus on that at all. We should not be talking about this misogyny thing. We should just deny it because it is not true. But we should not. We should try and talk about these journalists because if we put enough pressure on them, we might actually change it. We can't change anything about the feminist movement.
I have a little bit of I agree partially and disagree partially, but Borges wanted to make a point. You muted yourself.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can unmute him since I'm the host of the chat.
Okay,
I can't. Only he can unmute himself. That's probably the way it should be.
Oh.
He gets muted one time.
Wait.
You. Oh, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, you muted yourself again.
All right. Well, Borges, while you figure that out, wait. I'm gonna give him a couple minutes to figure that out. I wanted to respond to my opinion on what you had said, Victor. I don't feel that we can ignore the misogyny angle, the harassment. Actually, I do feel that we can safely ignore the misogyny angle. We cannot ignore the harassment of women angle. We absolutely should focus on the journalistic ethics aspect. That is what Gamergate is primarily about. But we need to piggyback off of the narrative that's already been generated by the mainstream media and point that towards what we want to talk about instead of just pretending that narrative is not what's actually what Gamergate is to the vast majority of people who have heard the term at this point. Go ahead, Borges.
I was going to say, to confirm sort of Victor's point on the idea that everyone's taken a side, if you look at the trends of the pro-Gamergate and anti-Gamergate movements recently, the Twitter trends, you'll notice that for a lot of the time it's parallel. A possible explanation for that is the idea that the pro and the anti are sort of engaging with each other online at the sort of the same point. So you've got the hashtag for, hashtag against, this sort of fueling each other. You know what I mean? Dynamically, this sort of correlation relationship. So yeah, that's a possible explanation for that. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, to be sure. Let's switch gears a little bit. Whoops, I muted myself. We lost Angela. We lost Dapper, but we still have the 5 of us. Let's talk about the boycotts. Have any of you guys been participating in the stuff that Jade Fox is putting out, sending out the emails to? I think this week it's Blizzard. Have any of you guys? Are you even aware of that? I know sometimes the stuff's posted on Facebook. I don't know. Jim and Borges would be the ones from the Steam group. I don't know if you guys see that stuff.
I tried to participate in it, and I was posting from my email, which unfortunately was my uni email, and then I got reported for suspicious activity, so I had to stop doing that.
No shit. Suspicious activity for sending an email telling an advertiser that you don't agree with someone they're advertising with.
Well, yeah, it looked suspicious that I was sending out all of these emails in like because I was using the same message. I was copy and pasting my, reason for to all these different companies, and it looked like some bot had taken over my email account. Presumably.
Gotcha.
I got blocked from my email.
In the future, you can BCC all the people. If you're sending the same message, just BCC all the people, and they won't be able to see that you've sent it to all the other people, but you'll just have to send one email to everyone.
No, but it's the administrators on my server for the university. They watch everything you do, and it's like,
Oh, of course. I'm a sysadmin myself, or I was at my previous job, and I could get into everything. I didn't care enough to monitor people's stuff, but that's kind of a condition of employment and universities similar. If you're operating on someone's network, the IT people can see everything you're doing if they want to. That's just something to assume.
Well, I've heard about these emailing, mainly the ad companies on 8chan and 4chan, before those threads got closed down. Anyway, I just don't hear a lot about it at the moment because so much is happening. It has happened the recent couple of days, and those thread has kind of overshadowed the fact what we need to do, and I think that is something we should actually sticky on the Facebook group. We should sticky what we can do to make a difference, because one thing is what is happening, another thing is what we can do and to further goals. Actually, I would say that getting a mark from the Facebook group in this conversation would be awesome.
I was about to say the same thing. I wish we could get Elizabeth, I think is her name. She was the one who was the admin when I first joined the group. I know she's pretty active in these threads. But yeah, we actually do have, on a pretty regular basis, we have the boycott threads pinned. But like you said, a lot has gone on recently, and I participated in 2 of the boycotts. I emailed Intel, and I emailed Razer, actually, which wasn't even a Jade Fox boycott, but it was something that people were doing on Kotaku in Action, because they've advertised on a few of the anti-Gamergate sites. But I see these, and I know a lot of people see them because they get heavily upvoted on Kotaku and Action. They get on the Facebook group. You can see that they're seen by 78 people or whatever. But I know that so few people actually take the time, and that's kind of how it is with any movement. There's it's like 1% of people that will actually respond to the calls to action, even when it's something as simple as typing in an email address and sending a short little message. But it's important. It really is.
I would say that in this Facebook group, I got it on my second monitor. We are at the moment 485 members, and it's kind of the same 10, 20 people that post things. And we just have a lot of lurkers around that is watching what the hell is going on, because that is why they got into this group to begin with. And if we could make these lurkers active, we could really move forward we could really move forward and get to the point that we want, and that would be great. And that's also another thing I want to talk about. Again, if we had a mod, that would be awesome in this conversation. But making people aware that there is a Facebook group around this, because 485, yeah, 80, 458 members. Again, I'm Danish. I'm bad at everything in this English. But
it must be like 6 in the morning at this point where you're at.
It's 5 a.m. and I'm
4 a.m.
pretty far into my second bottle of wine. Anyway, if we could get people's attention about this, we could make some progress, because a lot of people don't like to go on 8chan because a lot of shit can happen in 8chan, and it's pretty harsh sometimes.
You know what they say? It's the people who are too extreme for 4chan. who got banned from 4chan because they're too extreme.
8chan isn't as extreme as 4chan. It's actually the opposite. 8chan, we actually have conversations about things. On 4chan, it was just a shit fest. It was just shit all over the place, which some people like and I quite enjoy. But I like having conversation, and you can have that on 8chan. Some people don't like 8chan. You can't really have that on Twitter, because you can only send short messages. But everybody knows about Facebook. You can have long talks on Facebook about a subject. We need to kind of move this to Facebook so people really can talk.
Speaking of talk, I think Borges wants to say something. I'm not sure exactly what he's asking.
Don't you think that it's sort of helpful that the anti-GG stuff started going off, because he's saying a lot of the people that are still interested aren't even active. These people are interested because of all the controversy and drama that the anti-GG movement are sparking around it. If it wasn't for them, they would have easily swept this under the carpet by now. In fact, they're stabbing themselves in the foot by even talking about it. It's bringing more and more people in, and from that large group of people, even though the majority of them won't see like what we see, at least a small percentage of them will. And you see that with the trends on the Twitter as well. You saw the parallel going up and up, and then all of a sudden the gradient of the anti-GG Stop Gamergate 2014 went down, and the gradient of the pro-GG one went up. So possible way of interpreting that trend was people following, and then you've got this small influx of people who chose a side. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It's a similar point to what I was going to try and make, and you made it pretty succinctly. I'm gonna. It's 11 p.m. for me here. I'm not gonna end the. All right, Jim says he's gonna leave. 24 hours, man. That's rough. I do that on occasion, and it's always pretty crappy. I sleep for like 12 hours after.
Yeah, it's been a long day for me. I've been doing rotoscoping on a music video where they did a little bit of a shoddy green screen. So the green screen wasn't always perfect, so I have to sit and draw tiny little lines around everything that is moving.
Just when I think rotoscopes, I just think like Ralph Bakeshi's Lord of the Rings. Jesus Christ, the movie. Rotoscoping to the extreme.
No, you might want to look up what rotoscoping is when it comes to VFX. It's not the same as in game or animation. It's pretty much think of it as what the feminists are complaining about when it comes to these retouched photos of supermodels and whatnot. But you do it for a purpose that you want to replace the background or the foreground, or you want to add something in.
Can't just Photoshop it out.
Yeah, but since it's moving pictures, you have more images per second.
Yeah, I imagine that's mind-numbing work. All right, well, it's been great talking to you, Jim. I'm not going to close the chat down if you guys want to keep talking. I was going to step out and do some things for a couple minutes, but I figure I'll keep it going until you guys want to leave, and let's make it a free-for-all. Talk about whatever, play videos. I don't know how to get the videos onto the stream, so any future viewers can see what we're seeing, but we can at least watch stuff amongst each other. Except for Miles, apparently, because he's using the phone app. I don't know, or the laptop, tablet app.
No,
We'll have
there's
to
an
figure that
extra
out.
You guys have fun, and I'm a bit up for streaming tomorrow when I wake up, whenever that will be.
Yeah, certainly. I definitely am going to do this again. It's been great having you guys. I really enjoyed this. Maybe not tomorrow, but sometime soon. I'll definitely keep you guys in the loop, and anyone who's willing to come on anytime is definitely welcome. So I'm gonna step out for a second. I'll be back in a couple minutes. You guys do whatever, and Jim, I'll talk to you later.
All right, cheers. Bye, guys.
See you.
See you.
Hey, Jim.
And I'm going to see if I can figure out this YouTube video thing.
The thing actually.
Is this showing up for you?
Yeah, it is, and it's fucking strange. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, how old is this shit?
Off blast.
Who cares about that too?
Holy shit. New Thunderfoot video. This is going up. Ha, ha, ha.
One thing I actually wanted to talk about, and it's really I hope, I really hope it's gonna happen. But South Park at the moment, I don't know if any of you follow that show. I think it's great. And they are already touching on that.
Patreon, yeah.
Yeah, and how there's different genders, and they have touched on the transgender and cis white males, and it could be interesting if this moved on to Gamergate. Maybe it's gonna happen.
Oh dear, Thunderfoot. Such clickbaiting, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Like literally the risk is potentially someone could have a hidden firearm, which is well within the law. It's not that someone threatened to, it's just someone potentially could under the law.
I'm sorry, but as a Dane, I still can't believe you have these kind of gun laws in the U.S. It's my fight. Yeah, I don't know.
Fucking worthless.
Hey, I'm back, guys. What's going on here? I see a video. Ah, there we go. It started. Hey, I hate to interrupt if it's playing for anyone else, but it's buffering for me.
Huh? It's buffering for you. Can you see it's paused now?
Yeah, it's paused now. Okay, so I guess it's just my internet connection. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself and let it play as it plays if it buffers.
Okay.
The threat is not real.
Ugh.
We can't jump to conclusions that like they are doing. We just can't. And if she got death threats, then it's understandable that she would be scared, even if there was anything. Even if you could back them up or not, I don't know.
Oh shit, she's covered Bayonetta. And the thing is, like, if she went there and nothing happened, everyone would like, oh well, you can't prove something that isn't like it's all conjecture. If she actually went up there and like called the bluff, then it's like okay, all future threats. Oh, let's call the bluff. You know what I mean? You can't disprove something when she's not willing to test it.
To be sure, I agree, but are words on the internet, words in videos, opinions really worth risking your life over? And sometimes they are, but I don't know. I think the threat was probably legitimate. There's a lot of people out there who there's a lot of people out there who would be willing to do that sort of thing. Weird Twitter, the Something Awful goons, have been trolling both sides of this since the start, just trying to incite drama like that. And you got to figure this is a young woman about my age. She didn't expect to be this sort of central figure in this movement. She's just some random woman trying to got a bunch of money to make some videos.
Have you seen the?
Go ahead.
Possibly she didn't expect to be the center of it. Yeah, but she did expect to be, leeching off this sort of idea.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, she got $160,000, $180,000, something like that, for making these like 12 videos. But I don't fault her for canceling the speech. I really don't, and it kind of bothers me personally that people are saying, well, you know, she faked the threat. I don't know if it was this stream that I said it in or what, but she's not a mustache twirling supervillain here. She's just a young woman who's passionate about an ideology that I don't think any of us or most people in Gamergate agree with.
Have you seen Saga of Icons
May I come with my thoughts? Because I would actually say that no, if you got death threats, then of course it's fair enough to pull it back. But her not thinking that she would be a big thing in this, she is. She told people that the internet sees her as a supervillain. She must have known from the start that if she came out with her perspective on this, that she would be stamped in the what the hell do you call it? Anyway, she would be stamped with this is someone we need to find. She knew that she would become the opposition to this Gamergate. She knew this.
And that's kind of proof of her. Yeah, bastards. What happened? Oh, this. Okay. That's kind of proof, though, isn't it, of her narrative? All right, whatever. Let's watch it.
I do feminism, me.
Wait, she's only 23. How old is she now?
She's in her late 20s.
Classroom curriculum.
Link in the
Yeah, I like one of the other videos criticizing her that basically implies that the classroom curriculum is a natural step because that's her entire life has been in a classroom. She's not comfortable interacting with people in the real world, but she is good at pushing her ideology on people in a classroom setting because that's just it's been her life. I mean, she has what a couple degrees or whatever, and she went immediately from getting her graduate degree or her doctor or whatever master's into making these tropes versus women videos.
No, but the whole setup is based around marketing and event planning and self-promotion. Like, if you click that link, like seriously.
Oh, I know, I've seen it. I've seen it, and I guess where I'm at now is I went through the phase of like, wow, this Anita woman, this feminist frequency shit, it's fucking nuts. It's the whole SJW thing, and I still have severe problems with the ideology. I've watched some of the tropes for women stuff. I've watched all of Thunderfoot's critiques of it and a few others, and there's problems certainly with the ideas. But and it's absolutely valid to critique those, and it's valid to approach it from the perspective of, yeah, it's a marketing thing, it's her trying to profit. But what I guess I have an issue with because even if it's true, it just serves to further her point and her attempt at a narrative, is the personal attacks on her that some people end up resorting to, myself included. I just feel like it's she shouldn't even be in the conversation at this point, except as the face that happens to be on camera when the ideas are being presented. The fact that she's possibly a bullshit scam artist is not the important point. The important point is the ideas are out there and a bunch of people are treating them as if they're gospel and using them against us, so we need to address the ideas, and she doesn't fucking matter.
I think it's interesting though that what you're talking about there is logical fallacies, yeah. So it's not like logical to go after with ad hominems.
Yeah,
I think
that's a big part of
it. It's easy to classify a criticism as a logical fallacy. Like it's really easy to just say if I say a false equivalency, okay? A false equivalency is basically discrediting an empirical comparison. Say if I was to compare something with something else in history, it may be a good comparison, but if you label it as something, yeah,
I think I see
then
where you're
automatically the fallacy it becomes the important thing to the person who wants to believe that this is a fallacy. No,
I see that. I see that so much, and I was personally guilty of that in the past as well. People start to learn a few logical fallacies, and they start throwing them at everything that they don't like, as if that alone is a refutation of the idea.
Yeah,
and it's not always the case. But it's not so much. Well, yes, ad hominem is sort of relevant. That is kind of some of what's going on. It's not even about that. For me, it's about a kind of PR thing. We're already in the eyes of the peanut gallery of the average person terrible misogynists who harass women and hate them for pointing out sexism in games. And if we start talking anything negative about the people who are the saviors of the gaming world in the eyes of the mainstream media for pointing this out and are already subject to this terrible harassment, we're just feeding into that. We're making ourselves look worse. Even when those criticisms are valid, I feel like if we criticize it, all the criticism should be directed entirely towards the ideas, and the people are fucking irrelevant.
Like what's happening basically is we're pumping air into this big bubble that is Anita Sarkeesian, and
yeah,
she like profits off this sort of negative attention.
Exactly.
What a lot of people are hoping is that this big bubble will burst. Do you see what I mean? And I'm not sure whether it will. That's the gamble that a lot of people are taking. By trying to discredit Anita Sarkeesian, like saying if you're gonna chop off the Hydra's head, etc.
No, but we should not let her profit. Who the fuck cares? Why the fuck should we care about her profiting from this? Because this is not what we are about. We are about trying to get rid of these corrupt journalists. If some feminists wanna profit from it, sure, let her try and do it. We need to show the world we are not misogynists, and then that there is something wrong with these journalists. That's
a good point. That's a good point that I'd really like to repeat. If someone else is profiting off something, who fucking cares? Who are we to tell people that they can't spend money on stupid shit? That is actually exactly what the SJWs are doing. They are saying that
I think it's
these games are terrible and you shouldn't buy them because they're sexist.
I think it's so relevant because Anita Sarkeesian has been brought into the limelight because she's sort of this whole clickbait thing with Kotaku and Gamasutra and Polygon. She's sort of part of that whole idea where I'll say something outrageous and I'll get this sort of attention to the article. She's sort of in bed with all these people and her ideas are being used by these people. Do you see what I mean?
Mm.
And you've got with Sagan Vakani's getting really deep into it. I'm not sure how much of it is tinfoil with the Digra stuff.
I think I wanted the Digra stuff to be a strong connection I don't know if it is. I watched a video. It actually it was Internet Aristocrat and Sargon of Akkad and some other random people going into all these weird connections, like layer upon layer, the kind of internet thing where you end up with 50 tabs open and one thing on one page connects to the other thing on the other page. And it just, even if it's true, and if it is true, it was some pretty insane, deep stuff. Even if it is completely true, if you start talking about that to someone who's not already deeply involved in the movement, you just look fucking insane, and people are going to go, that is a crazy person whose ideas I should never pay attention to.
Was it
So
the stream? Was
it's
it the
unfortunate.
stream where some guy came forward and told about how his wife was getting kinda
They turned my wife against
recalled or
me.
something?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Alright, anyway, the thing is that at the moment, these gaming journalists and these feminists, they have this symbiotic relationship where they both get press and they both get money out of doing this. And we can't fight the feminists. We can't fight Anita. That is just a lost cause. We need to focus on fighting these journalists because that is where we can actually win. One thing is that we could try and ignore these feminists. Another thing is that we could prove them wrong by cementing that we are not misogynists at all, and therefore they lose their argument. But again, keep the goal in mind. We need to get rid of these fucking journalists that fucks everything up.
Need to stop.
I think that's why the fine young capitalist is quite important in this whole narrative building thing.
Let Miles is trying to say something.
We just need to stop. The only reason we're on the defense was because how big it was, and I get what Victor's trying to say. But in my words, we need to stop getting on the defense and get on the more offensive approach. That is, again, like Victor just said, focus on the corruption in journalism. Feminism, we can deal with it somehow. But again, like you just said, Victor.
And the thing is, we can't, and we should not be trying to beat down feminists. I don't think that is the right way, and we should not, because feminists, a lot of feminists, are fighting for a good cause. They are trying to create equality, and that is a good thing. And we all I think we all agree that both genders being equal is a good thing. Now, of course, the extremists, there are always extremists within a group. We can see it in religions, we can see in feminism, even in Gamergate, there are extremists that just things that some fucked up thoughts. But the main group, or the big part of our group, the Gamergate group, just want to make this world a better place and not for their own gain. And that is not the group they are focusing on at the moment, and that is a group we need them to focus on. And that is pretty much what we have to do. We need to make them aware that there is a very, very large group of people that just want to make this world a better place, where there is no corruption, and where we can all just sit down and play games, because that is what we want.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know about anyone else, but it's it's getting kind of late. I think that's a good note to end this on for this stream. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but we're all gamers. We just want to play games. We don't want to be told that we're terrible people because we like a certain game.
This is like my major criticism.
This is the best video on YouTube, guys.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Monty Python. They are just
Yeah,
huge.
Monty Python is very good. I don't what was that from? Was that The Life of Brian?
Yeah, Life of Brian.
Right on.
This is what I'm talking about. Is the why I'm sort of against isms in all sense, like even feminism, is that it sort of devalues the individual. You know what I mean? Why do you need to identify yourself as a feminist? It sort of takes away what you really are. You are a person. You don't need to identify yourself primarily through gender.
Right. Ideas are separate from the person.
And that is also the thing on both sides of this war. People are generalizing as hell. We are calling SJWs. We are generalizing in that way. They are saying all gamers are misogynists. They are generalizing, and we need to move further away from that because it's not a good thing.
But that's how things work on Twitter. Like I don't see how you can get away from that. Like we've chosen to be part of a movement. Like movements work is like communalizing people and turning people into these big blocks. Like literally, we're tracking blocks when we're talking about hashtags. Blocks of people.
And we do it because it's easier, and it is easier. But we just need to tell people that we should not generalize because most of the generalizations are wrong. And I'll say that there's a lot of SJWs out there that have no humor and so forth and can't take an argument and don't know anything. But there are some that can. And we are on Twitter also, there was some streamer who talked with an SJW and they had a fun talk. They didn't convince the other part to stop doing whatever the hell they were doing, but they had a fine talk. And it's again that we need to be able to talk to each other. If you keep generalizing, we're not gonna be able to talk with each other.
I think we need to like play the ISIS anthem to rally together our fellow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to mute everyone, but this is funny and marginally relevant.
Oh, Happy Harry is amazing, and it's such a shame that he doesn't put that many videos up anymore.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, was that the Anita version? Because we need to hear that. It's amazing.
I don't know. Can you find that? I'm not sure.
Looks like it just got re-added.
Oh?
I'm not sure. I still don't understand this.
You press next.
Yeah, we already heard this one. Yeah,
Just keep pressing next until it sorts itself out.
exactly.
I don't know. Lol.
It gets even better, trust me.
Hey guys, I'm gonna stop the broadcast, but I think the hangout's still gonna be good. It's just not gonna be. It's gonna end the YouTube upload. So
Okay.
you guys do whatever, but I'm gonna stop the broadcast.
Yeah, sure, we got one viewer, and I asked him if you want to come on, but it doesn't seem like